Jagradiv and Jai Masters. Most spiritual teachers teach meditation techniques. They teach meditation. All the great masters did. They stress that as the beginning and end of the spiritual path. Here's the truth about meditation. If your consciousness, your awareness, is flowing down, is attracted to your thoughts, is attracted to your emotions, is attracted to things of the outside world, you're going to have trouble meditating. That's why you need techniques. What's breathing technique? Pay attention to your breath instead of your mind, your emotions, and what's going on. All these things, even the new age things of sounds and lights going on in your head. Well, why does that work? Pay attention to those instead of paying attention to your thoughts. In other words, your consciousness is habitually distracted down. Why is it down? Because consciousness is very high. It's from a very high place. But it is addicted to staring at thoughts. It is addicted to staring at emotions and getting involved in emotions. And is extremely addicted to what the body is doing. And I always teach you, it's not really addicted to the outside world. None of you care one iota about the outside world. You care about what it feels like inside when the outside world comes in. If the outside world does something, and when it comes in, it stimulates nice things inside of you, then you like it. You're like, what? Truth is, you like the nice stimulation. But you don't say that. You say, I like you, I like that, I want that kind of car, I like this thing. If on the other hand, when it came in from the outside, it made you feel yicky and weird, then you say, I don't like it. It's not true. You couldn't care less about the outside world. Any of you. I'm sorry to tell you. All right? It's actually a very high state to be transcendent to the outside world. The trouble is you're not transcendent to the inside world in any shape or form. And since you have no control over the inside world, you use the outside world to try to make it be a way so that when it comes in, you feel better. Okay? Every one of you has situations where you really like somebody. They really turn you on. Then they say something, do something, you hear something about them, and all of a sudden they turn you off. You see? You don't care about them. What happened was something else came into your mind, and now when they stimulate your mind and stimulate your emotions and stimulate your energy, it's a negative thing instead of a positive thing, or the opposite. So that's just a little nice positive thing I can tell you, is you're not really caught up in the outside world. You're caught up in how the outside world affects the inside world, and that you're very caught up in. In fact, most people are so caught up in it that they don't even know that's going on. They actually think they like the outside world. They actually think they don't like the outside world. And they actually think that they like somebody. They actually think they love somebody. What do you mean when you say, I love you? What you mean is, in your presence, I feel love, and I like that. If in your presence I didn't feel love, I sure as heck wouldn't be telling you I love you. It has nothing to do with the person, anything outside. It has to do with how you feel inside in their presence. That goes for art. Some of you walk up to an abstract modernistic painting and feel wonderful, and somebody else feels bad. And then you sit there and say, well, that's real art, or that's a piece of junk. The art is nothing. The lines, colors, things on a piece of canvas or something, or a sculpture. The question is, what does it do when it comes into you? If your father was a potter, and he died at the pottery wheel, it caught his tie and pulled him in, right? You hate pottery, all of it. You just can't even stand it. Even masterpieces from ancient China. No, I'm not going there. Okay, that's just a little tidbit that's kind of nice to know, because you don't know that. All you know is, I want to feel good inside, and I don't want to feel bad inside. And I don't know how to do it inside. Therefore, I'm looking for things outside that will make me feel good inside. And I'm looking to avoid things outside that make me feel bad outside. And I'm telling you, that's your entire life, and it's always been that way. That's what toys you wanted, that's what people you wanted to be around, that's what preachers you liked, or what, every single thing. Every single thing. If you walk into a synagogue and you're Catholic, and somehow you walk in there and all this energy comes up inside of you, maybe I'm Jewish. I don't know. Maybe I should be. I'm going to convert. Or the other way around. It has nothing to do with anything other than what's going on inside of you. Nothing in your life has anything to do with anything other than what's going on inside of you. Why? Because you live in there. You don't live out here. You live in there. You can be doing wonderful. And all of a sudden your mind starts bothering you. How you doing? Terrible. Why? I don't know. I'm having a bad mind day. I don't know why. My emotions are just bothering me a lot. I don't want to be with you now. I love it. Understand that. I'm not belittling you. Don't be embarrassed. It's the absolute truth, and it has always been the truth. Until you do something about it, it's going to stay the truth. So what happens is there's an inside world going on in there. It's made up of your psyche. It's made up of your mind and what it's saying, your emotions, what they're feeling, and like I said, the senses bring in the outside world, which change your mind and emotions. But there's something else going on in there, which you guys know about, but most people don't. There's an energy flow. Shakti, chi, spirit, call it whatever you want. There's energy in there, isn't there? It can be uplifting, regardless of your mind, emotions, and so on. But the trouble is, it's not regardless. Because if your heart is open, if your emotions are open, receptive to what's going on, the energy flows. You feel energy. If your mind or heart are closed to what's going on, you don't feel energy. It's just like when you open and close the blinds. You see light when they're open. You see darkness. You don't see light when they're closed. It's exactly the same with your heart. It's exactly the same with your mind. And again, if I say to you, open your heart, you don't know how to do it. To clear your mind, you don't know how to do it. But you do know how to try to find things outside that cause your heart to open. And that's what you're out there trying to find. I need a relationship. No, what you mean by that is I need to find something outside of me that causes my heart to open. I need to find a job that I feel stimulated by. In other words, I need to find something that mentally, when it comes in, makes my mind like what's happening and not say negative things and say, oh boy, I get to go to work, and say, oh, I gotta go to... Okay, so now you understand the outside world. I teach you all the time, and nobody likes this teaching of mine. The outside world has nothing to do with you. It's just unfolding. It's been going on for 4.5 billion years. Every single time this little planet orbits on its axis, things happen. And you just happen to be standing in the place that happened. That's the truth. The world is unfolding based on what? Every single thing that made it be the way it is. It's called science. It's not true that if a volcano went off in Italy and brought clouds of smoke, right, and ruined your birthday, that's not bad karma. I wish you would never think like that. I think you would think, oh, a volcano went off and the wind blew it over here. There, that's what happened. Why? Find out what geology caused the volcano to go off. That's why. God doesn't like me. Leave him alone. I wouldn't have you do that. I really wouldn't. All it does is create more mind, more problems. You start thinking, well, why did this bad thing happen to me? It did not happen to you. You just happened to be standing there when it happened. This thing of taking everything personal is absurd. It's absurd, and it's not even true. Every single moment is going on, every planet, every galaxy, everywhere on Earth, because of all the things that happened before that caused it to happen. How's that? It's called the chain of cause and effect, moving through time and space. Now, if you happen to be standing there, you're going to experience what's going on. If you were standing somewhere else, you'd experience that. You don't want to hear this. Why? You want to know why you don't want to hear it? First of all, it's the truth. You understand that? Science is the truth. There's cause and effect. All the factors that ever happened coalesce together to create the moment that's going on. I don't care if you're telling a macrocosm, they're still trying to figure out why the little wavelets in the quantum field are happening, but they figured out once they see they're happening, how they make quarks and leptons and subatomic particles and then put themselves together into atoms, and here's the world. They figured all that out. Wow! And you think that you did it. The reason this happened in front of me is because I said something bad yesterday, or because I didn't do this, I didn't go to church. Then what you basically said is the quantum field is unfolding with its little wavelets according to what you did yesterday. I don't think science will find that. Things are what they are because of all that made them be that way. Do you have some effect? Of course you do. You're part of what's happening. You also were part of the causes, but not 100% of the cause. You're not even 0.00001%. If she liked you yesterday and doesn't like you today, you know how much it has to do with you? Zilch. Go ask Freud. It's got to do with her mother, her father, whether she ate pepperoni pizza for dinner 2 nights ago and her stomach hurts when she saw you. There are a lot of factors that are going on as to what went on in that person's heart or mind at this moment when you saw them. And you take it personal. If they look at you sideways, you take it personal. If they don't look at you sideways, you take it personal. Every single thing is personal. My understanding, where I've gotten, nothing's personal. Nothing's personal. Why do I take it personal? Because what happens outside comes in through your senses and causes changes in your heart and your mind. That's very personal to you. Why does your heart open when it opens? Why does your mind say what it says? It's not random. What's going on inside your head and your heart are the sum total of your past learned experiences. Just like what's going on outside is the result of all the factors that cause that to be. Psychology says man is the sum of his learned experiences. It's not true. You are the consciousness that is watching and experiencing the sum of your learned experiences. So how mommy was, Freud's right. How mommy was, how daddy was, what happened yesterday to you, what somebody did this, every single thing, you held this garbage inside of you. You know, stuff you didn't like, you suppressed. I don't want to experience this. So it got stored inside of you. Now whatever happens outside hits that stuff, doesn't it? You have soft spots in there. You have things you don't like to talk about. There are things you do like to talk about. Based on what? A movie you saw, an experience you had. You didn't make it up. You didn't make up a single thing. You have not made up your preferences. They're the sum of your learned experiences, and they can change on a dime. You can read a book, watch a movie, meet somebody, all of a sudden it's different in there. Because you're storing the past experiences inside, especially the ones that hurt you or the ones that are unusually pleasant. The ones that hurt you store inside because you don't want them to happen again. You have to protect yourself from them. That's a very funny thing to do. Store them inside so you can protect yourself from them. And the nice ones, you want them to happen again. And so you're actually out there looking to the outside world to make it be the way same thing I ever said. Look in the outside world to make it be so when it comes in you feel good, which means it hits your past experiences that are positive. Look at the outside world, make sure it doesn't come in that makes you feel bad. And you're running your life that way. You're deciding where to live, who to live with, whether to have children, this and that, what your career should be. What do they teach you? Find a career you're passionate about. That's wonderful. Of course you should do that. But I'm not going to teach you that. I'm going to teach you, if you don't have that garbage inside of you, you're passionate about every single second of every moment of your life equally. The fact that the sun came up, whoa. The fact that the moon has phases, wow. That's unbelievable. The fact that there's a butterfly, the fact that there's a rattlesnake, every single thing is awesome, especially if you think that it came from the quantum field. I've given that lecture before. I don't want to do it now. But scientists have gone all the way down. There are no atoms. There are no electrons, no neutrons, no protons. Even the subatomic particles are not particles. They're just force fields that happen because of these wavelets in this quantum field. So everything you see comes from there. How in the world am I blown away all the time? Watch a dragonfly fly by. It came from there. There's nothing that exists. All right? Other than consciousness, we'll talk about that. But in terms of form, all of form, science, every scientist all over the world had realized this. That's called the standard model of physics. Everything that exists, all the farthest galaxies, stars, the tiniest little things are all emanating from this quantum field, from this energy field. And then they show up as this, and they should blow you away. How did I be excited? It's just, you can't even talk. So yes, they can teach you, find your passion. I'm teaching you, find out why you're not passionate about every single thing that ever happens from the moment you're born to the moment you die. That's the spiritual state. All right, so what if I'm not there, which of course we're not. What if I'm not there to where I see that everything is just energy manifesting out of nothing? Wow, and every single thing I see, everything blows me away. That's where a master is. That's where an enlightened being is. The man who sees God everywhere. But I'm not there. Okay, now we talk about, we've laid the groundwork of why you're not there, because you're not okay inside. And so now you're chasing the outside to try to be okay inside. I'm going to repeat that. And don't be embarrassed, but I want you to own it. You're not okay inside. You're not feeling ecstasy all the time. You don't feel love all the time. You're not just totally blown away by everything and never come down. Unconditional love, unconditional well-being, unconditional happiness. You're not okay inside. So what you're doing is you have noticed, because you're not stupid, that things outside can make you feel better. Haven't you noticed that? And you notice that things outside can make you feel worse. So what are you doing? You're out there manipulating, controlling, dressing, talking, learning, driving certain cars and being certain ways, everything. How can I manipulate the outside world so that it be the way I think it needs to be, so that when it comes in, I feel good? Including, I met you, oh my God, I feel love, there's stars flying all over the place. Why? Because you're open. I felt open. Things worked. We matched. Good chemistry, no. Good physics, no. Right? It just worked. Now I have to worry about how to keep you. God, you complimented about what I was wearing the other night. I felt so good. But I can't wear it again. That wouldn't be right. That'd be stupid. What should I wear? Can I wear something that looks like it? No. Maybe the opposite. And you get neurotic. Even about good things, don't you? Come on, all right? That's because you're not okay inside, and you're trying to find things outside that make you feel better, and you're not exactly sure what they are. You hear me? And I can tell you a secret. The only way you even think how they are is based on your past experiences. You just think, well, I dated somebody a couple of years ago, and they had these qualities. I want to find somebody like that. Or my first husband or wife was like, oh, it didn't work out. I don't want anybody like that. I told you, I'm not exaggerating. If your first husband's name was Ben, obviously you loved him, you got married. But it didn't work out so good. That's why you got divorced. You're not divorced. You did not get divorced. You go try to date, says, oh God, he eats like Ben. Or somebody says, I'm going to fix you up. I have this beautiful blind date. He's the most wonderful person. Oh my God, wait till you meet him. What's his name? Oh, Ben. I've had enough Bens for a lifetime. Don't tell me you don't say that. So you have these impressions in there, and they're determining what your mind thinks you want and what you don't want. And then you look outside and you try to manipulate the world. All right, that's how a human being lives their life. And it's sad, because they will never win. They will never win. Why? The world has nothing to do. I ask everybody this. I don't know. I don't see your eyes light up. Your psyche, your mind, your emotions are the sum of your learned experiences. That's why you're different than him and he's different than you. We've all had different experiences. The moment in front of you is not the sum of your learned experiences. It didn't grow up in New York or New Jersey. It didn't go over there. It didn't have this father. It didn't have that mother. Do you understand that? Until you go and face this moment, you never met each other. But you're the sum of your learned experiences. And what I teach is, and I know you don't understand, it's the sum of its learned experiences. It's physics, it's chemistry, it's psychology, whatever it is, all the moments that happened before that cause that moment to coalesce in front of you, it's the sum of the learned experiences. It does not match the sum of your learned experiences. It's not supposed to. It never will. That moment in front of you is happening to anyone around there. Why should it match you? What about them? Go attract to yourself exactly. The moment in front of you is exactly what you want. But what you do to me? It's not what I want. And I'm looking at the same moment. It's not spiritual. Spiritual is to sit there and say, why am I not okay? Forget okay. Why am I not blown away by the reality that's unfolding in front of me? Whatever it is. Whatever it is. And also, why don't I understand that it won't stay? Everything comes and goes. We just say it's transient. Doesn't every moment come and go? So I shouldn't give it so much weight. It doesn't matter. It comes in, it hits some of my stuff, fine. Right? Okay. So there's the challenge of a spiritual being. You see how you're living your life. And you do believe you need to find the right relationship. You do believe you need to find the right job. You do believe you need to get the finances the way you want. You do believe you need to take vacations. You absolutely believe that the quality of your life is dependent on what's going on outside. And so now you have to fight. Struggle. Why do you have anxiety? Why can't it be the way I want? It's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be what it is. How come all the other moments that are going on, you don't say why they're not the way I want? You don't care one iota about them. There's hundreds of billions of zillions of moments going on, and there's one in front of you, and you think the one in front of you should be the way you want. Look to the left. Is it the way you want? Look to the right. Is it the way you want? Things are what they are because of the factors that made them be that way from the beginning of time and space, period. There they are. Are you okay with that? No. I'm only okay if they match me. That's called ego. It's a pretty big thing, isn't it? Okay? So what do I do about this? Because there's no one, no matter how beautiful, no matter how handsome, no matter how much money, no matter how powerful, They did not get what they wanted all the time. Of course not. Because you think it's supposed to be the way you want. Well, you're wrong. The moment is supposed to be what it is. Just like, here, do you understand there's more than one moment going on in the universe at a given time? How many? Hundreds of trillions of billions of zillions to the 7 billionth power. That's how many. Okay? Why don't you care about those? You don't say they're supposed to be a certain way. You don't even bother thinking about all the galaxies and everything. You don't even bother thinking about the stars in your galaxy. I tell you, 1.3 million Earths fit inside the sun. And you go, oh, that's interesting. No, it's not interesting. You ever seen a picture of a star with a planet transiting it? You just see this little black dot going like that? That's what the Earth is to the sun. And the sun is one of hundreds of billions of stars in one galaxy. And there's trillions of galaxies. And no matter how many times I talk about it with all my passion, you never think about it. All you think about is the moment that's unfolding in front of you, or what the moment next is going to be, or better yet, what the moments were. You actually think about that you didn't like what the moments were 20 years ago. That's ego. It's only about me. It's about me. It's not about everything else in the whole universe. It's only about me. And it's supposed to be the way I want. Isn't that silly? It's not supposed to be the way you want. It's supposed to be the way it is. Doesn't mean it's right. Doesn't mean it's just. Doesn't mean it's fair. It just is what it is. You are the way you are at any given moment. So all the factors that came together at that moment for you to be that way. But that's what everything is. All the physics, all the chemistry, everything is the moment unfolds in accordance to the factors that made it be that way. And then you come into it and look at how big that ego is. Like we make fun of the church in the old times when Galileo was around, that they said, no, you're going to jail because you said the whole solar system and everything doesn't orbit around the Earth. Of course it orbits around the Earth. Boy, you guys have big egos. No, not only does it not orbit around the Earth is nothing. It's just a piece of dirt. Do you know that if the entire planet blew to smithereens, completely demolished, right? A couple of planets would change their orbit a little bit, and nothing else would happen for the rest of all the galaxies, for the universe. They wouldn't even know what happened. They wouldn't even know it was there. And you think you're the center of everything. They locked Galileo up for saying that it's not true that the sun orbits around the Earth. It has to be because we're on the Earth and we're important. We're the most important thing. You're nothing. Here today, gone tomorrow. How long has the planet been here? 4.5 billion years. 4.5 billion years. How long are you going to be here? 80, 90, 100. Wake up. The problem is not the world. The problem is you don't know how to handle your inside. And you've made a mess in there by storing everything that ever bothered you inside, and also by storing what you liked inside. Well, what's wrong with storing what I like? You want it to happen again. Do you not want it to happen again? Something that you liked? I just told you, the moments are unfolding in accordance to very big factors. And so you get disappointed that it didn't happen again. You sit there and say, well, last time it was a little nicer because of this, and no one was smoking in the restaurant, and I'm so, oh, man. So we call those some scars. You stored the positive stuff inside, and you stored the negative stuff inside, and that's what you got stored in there. And so the world unfolding in front of you is going to hit all that stuff. And that's why you take it personal. I can't believe what she said to me. I would have never said that. Of course, you didn't have the experience she did. You didn't grow up where she did. There's not a chance in the world that you understand this person. But we were married 40 years. I don't care. She went to different places of work. She had a whole childhood you knew nothing about. Do you understand that? So what does one do about this? Because that's a predicament. What do I do about it? What do I do? How do I interact with the world when I have this problem inside of me that only cares about what makes me feel good and makes me feel bad? And we started talking about meditation, okay? The problem with meditating, and meditation is a wonderful thing. I'm not telling you not to meditate, right? But the problem with trying to meditate is this thing I just laid out, that you're very interested in what's going on in the mind, what's going on in the heart, what's going on in the body, and therefore what's going on in the world. Therefore it's hard to meditate, because the mind's thinking about these things. And even if you get back a little bit, then it starts thinking about something, and you're pulled down into mind. Do you understand that? Why do I say down? Because someday you're going to get far enough back there where you understand mind is down. Mind is below consciousness. Heart is below consciousness. And if the heart has an issue, the mind's going to think about it. And you get addicted to this. You don't know how to not watch your mind. So therefore, they teach you, quiet your mind. Do this, do that. In other words, they try to teach you how to not get caught in your mind. Why? Because you're caught in your mind. If you weren't caught in your mind, everything would be natural. Meditation should be completely natural. In fact, you better be careful. You're driving your car, all of a sudden, woo, starts going up. Hey, pay attention. Watching TV, woo, going up. It should just go up instead of down. But it can't. Why? Because it's creating thoughts and emotions that are that stuff you stored in there. And so you don't know how to get over it. All right. So how does one live life if they're not enlightened? That's the nice. Instead of talking about enlightenment and how nice all this stuff is and where the masters are, how do you live your life if you're not enlightened? You pay attention. You pay attention. If you get the foundation that we just talked about, you have the entire foundation you need to grow very, very rapidly spiritually. What do you mean? I notice that my mind has trouble with certain things. It's sensitive about certain things. I notice my heart has trouble with certain things. I notice my heart wants things. It grabs and reaches out, right? And gets disappointed if it doesn't get it. And gets excited if it does. In other words, I'm caught in this stuff. What do? You don't, and it's very subtle. People get it wrong, but we make it clear this time. You don't renounce life. It is not about renouncing life. It's not about leaving, going off somewhere. I tried that. It's not about renouncing life. Why do you need to renounce life? Because I'm screwed up. I need to go into solitude where there's nobody around to bother me. Why? Because I get bothered by everything. I need to go live in an ashram somewhere where everybody's really nice and they all wear white and they do mantras all the time. Why? Because any other thing that goes on, I'm just a mess. Okay, so you can go do that if you want, right? Higher is to say, life is my teacher. Life is my guru. What do you mean? Life is going to unfold. I've taught you that life has nothing to do with you. It's just moments unfolding in time and space, and you happen to be standing there. If you're standing somewhere else, those will be the moments. It's just life unfolded, and your life unfolded, and you say, hey, hi, and the moment's unfolding in front of you. Why? It just worked out that way. I told you once, you go and drive your car, and somebody runs a red light. You almost hit them. You ram on your brakes, spin around, right? Difficult experience, right? How did that happen? Do you understand that if your coffee took 7 seconds longer to brew, or if a call happened, you would not have been at that light at the same time as that person? And they have the same factors as does everything else. It's not you. It's life. It's life. It's the unfolding of life. So when you start to understand this, and you realize how personally you take everything, you understand life is your teacher. Why? Because it hits your stuff. Doesn't it? It shows you where your stuff is. Well, what about relationships? They will show you where your stuff is. If you haven't noticed, they will show you where you're grabby. They will show you where you're judgmental. They will show you where you open. They will show you where you close. They will show you every single thing. Okay? Like, why can't the person be the way I want them to be? Because they're the sum of their learned experiences, and you're the sum of your learned experiences, and the two things have nothing to do with each other. Can you feel love for your spouse and then go to work and have a bad day and come home and not want to talk to them? That's nothing to do with them. But believe me, they'll take it personal. Okay? And so you wake up and you say, oh my God, are you telling me that all these interactions with life are my teacher? They're teaching me where I'm caught. They're teaching me where I said it has to be the way I want it to be, even though I understand it is not going to be that way, all right? Have you noticed yet? Have you noticed yet that every moment in front of you is not going to be the way you want it to be? And you start noticing, and you start saying, okay, why don't I use life to liberate myself from myself, not from life? You're not liberating yourself from life. You're not liberating yourself from other people. You're liberating yourself from yourself. You're at all times saying, this is a mess in here. That's why I need to avoid things. That's why I need to find things. That's why I need to do things. Everything's a mess. It's a mess. Well, what do I need to work on? The unfolding of life in front of you is hitting your stuff. Work on that one. But there's so many in there. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Just worry about the moment that's unfolding. Be here now. Worry about the moments unfolding in front of you. See what a mess it's causing inside of you, either because you want it and you're grabbing it and you're figuring out what to do about it because I want it, or you don't want it and you're scared of it. And you look at that. It's called witness consciousness. You look at it and I know it's hard because it's strong. Just like a heroin addict is addicted to the drug, you're addicted to this thing we've been talking about. You're addicted to your psyche. You're addicted to your mind and your heart. And you're addicted to trying to do exactly what they tell you to do. If your heart says, no, I don't want to be here, you leave. If your mind says, I don't like him, I don't like what he did, you leave, and then while you're driving away, you say, well, maybe that was rash. Maybe I should go back. No, I'd be embarrassed to go back. So you wake up and you realize the meaning of my life is not to get what I want. The meaning of my life is not to avoid what I don't want. The meaning of my life is, to the best of my ability, every minute of every day, to let go of the part of me that I stored in there that made me a mess. So you realize that as the day unfolds, every single day, I have a choice. Change, manipulate, conjure, pray to try and make it be what I want, or take a look at what's going on inside of me that can't handle reality. Because that's what's going on outside, is reality. Not just or fair or democratic or nice or not nice or spiritual or not spiritual. No, just reality. That's what's out there, reality. Okay? It's reality. Can I handle it? And the answer, of course, is no. Can I learn to handle it? The answer is yes. And that is your spiritual growth. And just so we don't leave meditation behind, because some people say, I don't teach meditation. I don't teach meditation, because everybody else does. Fine, learn your meditation. I'll tell you this. You live what I'm talking to you about, and you keep letting go of the parts of you that you should not have stored in there 20 years ago or whatever the heck it was. Just learn to handle reality, learn to accept it, handle it, release, surrender, let it go, let it pass through. You're going to reach a point where you'll understand the Shakti is going to change direction. It can change direction and start flowing up instead of down. Why? Because you've lost all that interest in the down. You're not forced to pay attention to everything the mind says. You realize there's something more beautiful going on inside. And so all of a sudden your consciousness, your awareness of being is more interested in the higher states inside than it is in what's going on outside. Ramdas once said, I love it, he said, you reach a point where you understand there's nothing that can come in through your senses that's higher than what's already going on inside. Can I repeat that? All right? You reach a point, there's nothing that can come in through your senses that's higher than what's already going on inside. Because the only thing coming in from your senses is open you, so you feel something nice inside. What if you learn not to close? What if you learn to be open? What if you learn to honor and respect and accept and appreciate life, all of it? And so you'd never close. Well, then you're going to feel Shakti all the time. Take the highest state you ever felt in a relationship, in baby birth, whatever it is. Just the highest you ever were. That's because you were the most open. If you weren't open, you wouldn't have felt that. Well, what if you take the doors off your heart and it never closes? You're going to feel that all the time. And way more than that, because that was always conditional. What if you feel all this Shakti pouring up inside of you and you realize this is the most beautiful thing that could possibly be? I ain't coming down ever again. How do you get there? By using life to let go of yourself. So now life isn't something you renounce. Life isn't something you have a spiritual life and a worldly life. No, they're the same. They're the same. Your interaction every day with life is the most spiritual thing you will ever experience. Fine, you meditate for an hour or 2 hours. Life is all day. Life is every day, all the time. And what's it doing? Showing you where your stuff is, isn't it? It's showing you where you're not okay. It's showing you where you're caught. It's showing you where you got issues. And so you start to catch on, wow, spiritual life is really amazing and it's really powerful if you use every moment of your life to understand it's all spiritual. But what about relationships? They're spiritual if you use them to let go of yourself. They're not spiritual if you use them to cling and to fight and to try to make the other person be what you want them to be, which is what you do in your relationships. You think the other person is supposed to match your stuff. They don't. There's no way in the world they can't possibly. They grew up in different ways. Everything's different. There's no way they're matching you. But it seems like I attracted them to me, yeah, so that you could grow, so you could go through your stuff. They're perfect for hitting your stuff, aren't they? You hear me? How about your kids? Perfect for hitting your stuff. But why can't they be the way I dreamt they were going to be and take care of me and go to Harvard and really be nice and do this kind of stuff, right? I'm not going to answer you because I have nothing to do with you, right? Earth is a place that souls are sent to evolve. Earth is not a place where souls are sent to get what they want and manipulate everything and then die. What good did it do? I want you to appreciate and honor and embrace and be enthusiastic about every single moment of your life. But we don't know how to do that because of all this stuff we stored inside. So what you do is you use life to help letting go of the stuff inside, instead of using life to placate and compensate for what's going on inside. It is not about getting what you want and avoiding what you don't want. It's about letting go of the reason you want things and letting go of the reasons you don't want things. Why would I do that? So that you can honor and respect and appreciate and be blown away by everything. I've been giving you the example lately about a baby. Basically, they start off as a single cell, single fertilized cell. All right? There. Microscopic. How does that cell become a baby? How does that cell become a baby? Eyeballs, livers, kidneys, pancreases, pineal glands. So you live in a world that cell knows how to make a body by itself. It knows how if you eat carrots and apples or drink Cokes or Twinkies, it'll do just fine. There are people out there whose diets are, oh my God, we're not going to discuss that. They smoke, they drink, they eat Twinkies, all right? And the cell is so intelligent, it takes that food, I guess we'll call it food, it takes that stuff and it molecularly breaks it down and puts it back together. You hear me? That's what's happening in there. You're not doing squat. It's putting itself together and it's making a baby. It's beyond the word miracle. The fact that cell is a biologist and a chemist and knows how to break those molecules down and then put them back together. Holy mackerel. What if you saw everything? Because it's not just the baby. I hear tell that if an oak tree drops an acorn, a little acorn, and nobody does anything, it does it too. It knows how to take dirt and sunshine and water and turn it into a giant 100-year oak tree all by itself. Doesn't it? And so you wake up and it's beautiful. Life becomes amazing. First, it's like a video game. And what's the challenge? Can I enjoy and appreciate and be grateful and be enthusiastic about creation, about the fact that I get to experience a moment of creation? God, I've told you this before, and again, I never see your eyes light up. Do you understand that the moment you're experiencing has never happened before and will never happen again, and you're the only one experiencing it? Right now, you see me from a certain angle. Did you understand that? You are literally getting a private showing of creation that only you see and no one ever saw and no one will ever see. It's not going to repeat itself. Wow. And you just miss it all because you just want it to be what you want. At some point you wake up in the awe of holy mackerel. But what if the moment's not nice? Still mine. It's my moment. It's my special moment. I'm the only one who got to experience it. And I'll go further because you guys seem to be listening. What's really going on with this God word? What's really going on is there's consciousness. You're conscious, there's consciousness. It's all the same consciousness. That consciousness created everything. It's creating everything. And it wants, like an artist wants to see its painting. A musician wants to hear its music. Do you understand that? It's just passion about I've created something. So God, the consciousness, created the whole universe, and now he wants to experience the universe he created. You're his emissary for this moment. You're the one that was chosen, that his consciousness can come down through you and experience this moment that no one ever experienced before, no one ever will. Wow, I'm honored to be the one to bring the great consciousness down to experience the creation that was created. That's how a devotee looks. And someday you're going to understand that's the truth. Your consciousness. Now we get back to what happens when you start living like that? What happens when you start letting go of yourself? Christ said you have to die to be reborn. That's what it's talking about. You let go of this ego that you built up in here that's just made up. What does psychology say the ego is? The self-concept. What's a concept? Something you made up. Concept's not reality. You just made this thing up. And you say, this is me. No, it is not. This is what I'm staring at. Yes. What happens when you stop staring at it? First, I showed you, I'm telling you, the way you stop staring at it is to start appreciating the moments that are unfolding in front of you. So they come and they go. Fine. Kiss them goodbye. Kiss them hello. Gandhi is a very great being. Gandhi was assassinated. Most of you know that. Some maniac pulled out a gun and shot him. As he fell to the ground, he pranammed in forgiveness directly at the person who shot him. That's called centered consciousness. So you're that. You can have consciousness that's that appreciative, that deep, to honor and respect everything. And what happens when you do that, then the moments don't pull you down. You just start feeling, I'm telling you, it changes direction. You start feeling this rush upward that's filled with joy and filled with bliss. And then meditation is totally different. Meditation is something when you sit down, meditation is not something you do. Meditation is something that the Shakti does. She pulls up, and you just, if you can, you let go. And just learn more and more to let go. It takes you up. You can't meditate. You can't go back up there. You have to stop coming. I don't know. I'll say it to you once for all. You don't go to God. You stop leaving. You're already there. Your consciousness is one with consciousness, with the consciousness. But you're staring at you. So the beam of light is focused down instead of up. When you start letting go of yourself and life helps you, life is your best friend. It helps you with every single thing all the time to know. Somebody said, well, how do I know what I need to get rid of? You'll know. Well, how do I know what to work on next? You'll know. It's your teacher. It's perfect. And so you keep letting go and you keep going up. So that is a spiritual life. It's a very great life, and meditation is natural. I don't teach not to meditate. I don't teach renunciation, right? And I don't teach no relationship. Every single thing that goes on in your life is for your benefit, but you don't know that because you're trying to make it be what you want. But it's for your benefit of letting go. It's for your benefit of learning. So of course you have relationships. You do and you don't, whatever. Of course you have children. You do and you don't. Of course you travel, or you do or you don't. It's irrelevant. But you're going to be drawn into do a certain life because of your stuff. And you don't renounce that. You don't ignore that. You try to use it to let go of your stuff. You use it. Ultimately, everything goes up. Ultimately, everything goes up. It doesn't go down. It doesn't go out. It goes up. And eventually you'll get to the point where everything that happens to you just blows you away. Just keeps blowing you up. That's where I want you. Okay. It's funny. This was supposed to be a talk about meditation. I guess it kind of was. It's a different kind of technique of meditation, right? It's saying why you're not naturally meditating all the time. Because you're pulled down into your stuff. Now you want to go pull down into your stuff during the day, but meditate at night, fine. Do that. But I want you every moment of every second of your life to understand, let go. Just let go. Let go. Keep letting go of the garbage that's holding you down, and you're going to go up. Jaggerative.